Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Christian Jagra, and Tammy and I, my beautiful wife here, will be hosting this presentation. We're hosting from Daytona Beach, Florida. So, Tammy, let's share with the world exactly how did we get introduced to Got Backup.
Absolutely. Well, welcome everybody. And I know a lot of people are going to be catching this on the recording. It is an absolute beautiful Friday here. And so Chris and we learned about Got Back Up. It's been 2 years now. And Joel, the owner of Got Back Up, Joel Terrier, which you'll see in a video shortly, he contacted us directly and he was telling us about this new project that he was launching, which is called Got Backup. And he asked us if we were open to have a look at it, and of course we did because we've known him for so long. We watched him build 8 figures in online marketing, and we thought, you know what? Let's have a look at it. And once we saw it, exactly what you're going to see today, once we saw it, we said, oh my gosh, we positioned ourselves right away, and we've been building ever since globally. So it's been a lot of fun. Wait until you see how many countries we're in. And yeah, so that's basically it. We've got a lot of experience in the network marketing industry. We've been in network marketing for 25 plus years, 27, something like that, Chris. And we've built globally, and it's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And folks, the reason why we're attracted to this venture, it's because we saw an opportunity to empower families with a global opportunity. Make a long story short here, folks, we've built friendship from all over the world. We know that the economy has changed a lot of views on what people can and cannot do. And we saw this as an opportunity that can create massive growth and success where people can turn their dreams into reality. I like representing this slide here because, again, it represents, the common men and women like ourselves, our fathers and mothers and young families. We know today, buying a house, it's a very long distant kind of possibility because of the cost of mortgages and homes and everything else. And you're seeing here this father, this young family kind of showing off their brand new set of keys to move into their home. What about traveling where you want to opposed to where you can afford to? Or what about having new members of the family? We understand today that the cost of buying goods like diapers and baby food and groceries is much more expensive than it was like 4 or 5 years ago. It more than, in some cases, double, in some cases even triple. So what if that was not an issue for you? The other part, I call it the cherry on the cake, is retirement, where you work an entire life to live from the fruit of your labor. But again, in the past 5 years, a lot of investments have been reduced because of decisions in situation that has occurred that reduces the value of your assets from your retirement. What if now we can start feeding that with another stream of income? And that's what we want to talk to you about.
Yeah, and we've been doing just that. And so Got Back Up is all about helping average people. Chris and I are average people who made a decision many years ago. We made the decision we were no longer going to be strapped down to a job. And I was a traditional business owner. So if I didn't open the door and close the door, it wasn't working the way I wanted it to, because employees are never going to work as hard as you. And so it's all about helping average people who want an above average lifestyle. So let's
I
get into
totally
it.
agree. I totally agree, Tammy. And welcome, Phil. Great to have you here. So, folks, the company began in 1997 in Gatineau, Quebec, Canada. And this is where I met Joel. And we had kind of a similar connection where the person I was working with, he was actually training that person as a personal trainer. If you've seen Joel, you understand what I mean by that. And the fact here, folks, is I remember Joel telling me about his business, and I decided to rent to rent part of his server to host a website. And this is where I met him. That was in the year 2000 or so. And I remember him telling me a few years later that they were moving to Texas because the fiber optic on the ground couldn't support the growth that they've reached. They needed more. It's, I think of it, the super highway with all the cars with 16 lanes. And but before you had 16 lanes, there were only four, two on one side and two on the other side to for different directions. The long story short with this is When you add 16 lanes on a major road, it's a lot more cars that can pass by. That's what we mean by the fiber optic utilizing the internet. So what's happening here, folks, is he moved into a data center, which is 10,000 square feet, and it's actually paid in full. And that's something that I really appreciate. And what's the reason I also decided to be part of this? It's a debt-free company. So let's hear from Joel so you can hear a little bit about what's going on in the background. Let's check this out.
Hey guys, welcome to the corporate office of GotBackup. Now everybody wants to know, are we super secure? And how do we offer such an amazing service at such a low price? So this is in our tech room. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you on a tour of our server room to show you just how secure it is, and we welcome you into the family. So let's go over to the server room. So the first thing I wanna explain to you guys is that we're fully PCI compliant. For physical PCI compliance, what does that mean? It means we're allowed to physically store credit cards in our data center because we're uber secure. So we've passed all the tests for that, and we're legally allowed to store credit cards and your storage. So one of the first requirements for PCI compliance is you have to have 2 coded doors before you get into your server room. We also, as a company, like to have fun, so we call it Area 51. So anyway, I'm gonna code this door with my back here so you guys can't see what the code is. Come in this way. This is a simple inventory room, guys. We build servers here and so forth. And then our second coded door is over here, okay? And so we have a coded door here as well to get into the server room. So here we are in the server room, guys. This is where all the magic happens. So a couple of things people ask. Joel, how secure is my data, and could you ever lose our data? So as an example, let's come here. It's impossible to lose your data, and here's why. If you look at this storage array, and we have, hundreds of storage arrays in here, there's 14 hard drives across this storage array. 4 of these hard drives could fail, which statistically never happens, but let's say it did. 4 of these hard drives need to fail before we start to lose some data. But guess what? We're not going to lose any data because this is striped to here. This whole rack of hard drives here is copied here. Just the same here. All these hard drives here are copied here. So there's not a single point of failure relative to your data. There's also no single point of failure in the server room. As an example, there's A power and B power. Every server is plugged into A power. Every server is plugged into B power. Also, relative to cooling of this room, if you come over here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners in this server room. So the air is never going to be a problem. The other thing as well is we're very, very efficient. If you look up at the ceiling, let's come back over here, you'll see vents up there, and the cold air is strategically placed in front of the servers here, so it sucks in all the cold air, and it goes over into the hot aisle behind this wall here. So very, very efficient server room as well. And finally, if God forbid there was ever a fire in this room, we have here what's called a fire suppression system. What this system does, it's just a bunch of electronics behind here, but we can open it up, okay, is if God forbid there was a fire, and in 25 years there's never been a fire, but it will snuff out all the oxygen in this room. If there's no oxygen, then the fire goes out, right? So we don't use water to destroy the equipment. So that's the basics of the server room. Super, super secure and super redundant relative to your data. So the other aspect to security is we use the exact same security as Amazon, as Google, as all the big players, Microsoft. It's patented security, it's military grade, 256-bit encryption security. So your stuff is very secure. So let's come out of the server.
So let's continue with the presentation. You can see here, folks, how secure this is. Let's talk about basic, let me say, instead of basic, global trend. It's not basic. It's actually, these are global. These are indicators that are strong indicators to tell you that these are a good place to invest either your time and money. So let's cover this, Tammy, starting with this slide.
Yeah, so the trend number one, that was a big eye opener for for me anyways, understanding that there's so many, as you can see, 15 billion smartphones in the world, all the devices that are in the world, and everybody is on their devices all the time now. And what are they doing? They're filling them up. And knowing that data storage is a massive, massive trend right now. And Chris is going to show you some key indicators.
Absolutely. And looking at this slide, even if it's an older slide here, folks, I really love to see the growth from 2011 to 2023. I mean, we're talking 10 times the growth from 6% to 60% in that time frame. Let's look at this slide over here. It's a bit more up to date. The size of cloud storage market worldwide from 2022 to 2030, folks. We're looking at 90 billion revenue opposed to compared to $500 billion, folks. And I believe this is conservative. I think it'll be a lot bigger than that. There's a lot of companies right now that are recognizing the importance of providing cloud services. Again, what makes us different from everybody else is that we are offering an income associated with this as an opportunity. So, Tammy, let's talk about one of the reasons why these trends are taking place.
Yeah, cell phone addiction. We're always using our devices, and there's a reason why. It's because everything that we're looking for is on our devices now, right? So everybody is using them constantly. I know Chris and I personally, we live in Daytona Beach, Florida, for 5 months of the year, and 7 months we're in Toronto, Canada. And we can keep an eye on our properties just through the phone. So it's phenomenal. And also, I mean, many reasons why we use our phones.
That's an understatement, folks. And because of that, the data loss is a growing concern. 45% of cell phone users have accidentally damaged their cell phones or even lost their data. Think about the drama this can cause, where you lost a piece of your soul, because at the end of the day, if everything is locked into these devices over here and it's not backed up anywhere else, when it's gone, everything else in it is gone. 5,700 screens are cracked every hour. Laptops, cell phones stolen every 43 seconds.
Yeah,
and here's another message that could be quite irritating.
Yeah, and I remember, Chris, when we were in Toronto, just before we came here, I went to one of my external drives and it was compromised. So everything in my external drive would have been lost had I had not backed it up with the GotBackup system. So that is, it's amazing to know that you have that backup, right? And so how many times have you seen these kind of messages? Every single time I talk to somebody and we get into the conversation about our devices, and if they ever got these messages and they're like, oh, it's interesting you're talking to me about it because I recently got another message. I got to upgrade my data storage. And I said, well, maybe that's the reason we're having a conversation right now. And I sent them the information. So everybody's getting these messages. That's my message to you, is everybody's getting these messages. And GotBackup has the solution to give you so much more.
I totally agree, Tammy. And looking at this slide here, folks, global trend number 2 is making more money. People are looking for different avenues to subsidize the shortcoming that's happening today because of the economy and the transformation that's going on. And if you look at the North American kind of industry right now, or business industry, or I should say section, is 42% of Americans have side gigs. 42%, folks. 62% of Gen Z. This is more than half. 18 to 25. These are our kids. Have businesses on the side. What about the rest of the world here, folks? These are the strong indicators that are telling you this is where you can really leverage. And that's where GotBackup comes into play. So, Tammy, let's talk about the product that we offer with GotBackup.
Yeah, now it's the fun part. So you get 6 terabytes of data storage with GotBackup, and you have 6 separate accounts. So in your account, you can add 5 additional members, and they don't even have to be living in your household, which is phenomenal. And you can decide how much storage that you're going to give each person. So when I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, this is massive, and unlimited devices on top of that. Families need this, right? So it's an absolute huge opportunity here, and it's only $10 a month. It's actually $9.97. And what was really exciting for Chris and I to see, because we understand timing, that's a big one, but the fact that it's the only network marketing business available in the cloud space. Now that, you guys, is like serious timing. And yeah, so grab onto it because we're riding.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the comment here, Nianam, because it's a very, very common situation that you just shared, and really appreciate transparency and sharing this with us. And folks, here's what's going on. Let's look at our competitors: iCloud, Dropbox, and Google Drive. We're not saying we're better than them because they each have their functionality. But what's happening here is they're offering an average of 2 terabytes. And we know that today, with how sophisticated those devices are, they fill up. I mean, 2 terabytes is not what it used to be even even a year ago. So it fills up very quickly if you're not careful. So what GotBackup is offering here, it's 6 times that for the same amount of money. You can have 6 separate users, as Tammy stated, including yourself. That would be 5 more extra users that can share the data space if you don't need all of it. Again, $9.97 per month or $99.97 per year. Now, when you look at the yearly packages and looking at, again, our competitors, you're looking at iCloud, Dropbox, and Google Drive. And don't quote me on the exact amount, folks, because things might have changed a bit, but it's definitely more expensive, right? Definitely, for an average of 6 terabytes. I say average because I know Google has a 1 terabyte, a little less. But the point here is $99.97, just under $100. It's amazing, amazing value. And folks, there's so much more than cloud storage offered here to help you build your business. And again, we'll touch on that a little bit later. So Tammy, let's summarize what we have here.
Yeah, so you get 6 terabytes of data storage, $9.97 a month, and that includes 6 accounts. And you can use any device. I know we have many devices and everything's automatically set up. So it's phenomenal. And you saw some of the security, seeing everything that's available. It's a 30-day money-back guarantee. And I keep reminding people of that. I don't know anybody who wouldn't get things set up, which is super simple. Chris is going to show you, that would want to cancel to go back to 2 terabytes for the same price when you can have 6 and add members. It's such a no-brainer.
And folks, what's really interesting when you become a member with GotBackup, there are 2 pieces of software that you need to install, and it's completely self-efficient. One is for backing up your computer or computers, really cool, or you can back up your cell phone. I'm going to be using the video for how do you back up your cell phone, because the majority of people around the planet will own a phone device. Let's check how simple it is to do.
This is a quick walkthrough of how to install your GotBackup app onto your mobile device. In this case, I'm using the Android Galaxy, but the process is the same also on an iPhone. So to download your app, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either come to the Play Store. On an iPhone, it's called just the App Store, and just search for GotBackup. And there it is. Or we could come to our members area and go to use this tool, and then you will see it here on your dashboard. So again, I'm using my Android device. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and it's going to take me to my Google Play Store. If you're on an iPhone, it will take you to your App Store on your iPhone device. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's going to ask you to log into your account. Go ahead and allow all your notifications so it could let you know that everything's being uploaded properly, and go ahead and put in your unique ID. Once logged in, you will be asked to let GotBackup access your photos and videos on your mobile device. Select Allow. Without having to do anything, an Android upload folder was automatically created for me. Neat! If you are on an iPhone, the folder will be called iPhone Upload. Now, depending on how many photos and videos is on your device, your first backup might take some time. So it is highly recommended that your device is on a charger and is connected to Wi-Fi. It is a good idea to start your first backup in the evening and keep your GotBackup app open and let it back up overnight. One more thing I'd like to point out. If I tap on these 3 little lines on the top left corner and tap on Settings, you will see these 3 boxes under Monitor are automatically checked. Auto Upload will automatically upload all future photos and videos taken on your device to your GotBackup cloud. Camera Roll Upload will back up all existing photos and videos that are stored on your device to your GotBackup cloud. And Upload Only on Wi-Fi will only back up your data while connected to Wi-Fi. If you have an unlimited data plan, you can uncheck this. So if I come to my gallery, I'm going to have a slew of pictures from over the years. This is actually Joel's phone, so if I come to my albums, I have almost 1,400 pictures. Alright, so if I come to my app, come back to my menu and click Transfers, you're going to see all my pictures now are uploading. Since this might be a large upload at first and I have a low battery, it's highly recommended that you plug into a power source. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, now that's finished. We can now see that our Android upload has all been categorized by what year these photos were taken. These were taken in 2021. And this was just recently. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
I have to admit, folks, that it's a very simple process. And folks, again, remember, this is the only cloud storage that pays you. So making money with GotBackup, it's actually really simple, folks, and it's actually a genius plan. So Tammy, let's summarize kind of how we earned the money with GotBackup.
Yeah, so there's 7 ways, and we're going to go through, as you can see, the highlighted part. This is the basic foundation of building, and the rest are really bonuses for people who want to build a network. So customer acquisition bonus, CAB for short. This is when you have somebody that's interested in becoming a member and you're a member. You're going to get 200% upfront. So let's just round it all off. It's a $10 a month. You're going to get $20. I'm going to make a couple examples. So the 50% is on the annual, which is the $100, and 25% on any other features that they're going to be offering and that they are already offering right now or in the future. So the bottom part is basically customers. So these are people who are not members and they just want to use the service. So you're going to get 25% every single month ongoing for them. Okay, so an example is 20 direct people who members who decided to be part of the opportunity. You're going to get 200% upfront, which is $20 times 20 people, $400 commission, and you're not limited to the amount of people that you can bring in. And now is really the timing. Nobody knows about GotBackup, and it's going to be absolutely massive in the next year, 2 years. Yeah, you're going to see. And customers, same thing. You have 20 customers, 25%. So rounding it all off, the $2.50 times 20 customers is $50 ongoing every single month. And again, you're not limited to the amount of people. And there's so many people, especially online. Everybody's looking.
I totally agree. And you know what I love about the fact on the CAB, the customer acquisition bonus, is $50 every time someone is paying for the service for the year, which they get 2 months for free. That is a great income. Do the math where Tammy showed you 20 people with $20 because they came with a $10. What if they come in for the year? That's $50 times 20. I mean, do the math on this, folks. It's really good money from the start. So let me explain to you what happened on the back end. So as you are building your business, sharing a service that everyone needs, we have what we call cycle earnings. So there's really a 2-team tree system. So in other words, if you bring 10 people, well, 5 have to go on one side and 5 on the other. So the other underneath, the one that you just put in, will benefit from the one previous. What I mean by that is if you sponsor someone on your right side, you notice here the indirect. Well, the indirect was not sponsored by you, it was sponsored by someone above you. But you sponsor someone on your right side, which is a direct that benefits the person that's indirect. This is the power of 2-team tree. So again, folks, it's really, really exciting how this expands because we call it the cycle bonus. There are two different tiers. All it means is there's more money on tier 2 than tier 1. Let me explain to you how this works. One is you need to be active, just like you're active with your Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, whatever service you pay monthly, you're active. And you need to be active with GotBackup to have access to your data, of course. And they're really, really generous in the event that you choose to change your mind. You can always access your stuff and move on elsewhere if you want to. So, but the fact is you need to be active. Number two is you need to enroll at least 2 people. So one in your left team, one on your right team, that are ordering the $10 a month, that are consuming the $10 a month, or they can pay their $99.97 a year, whatever that is. It will be just divided among 12 months for you to qualify for the 12 months with that person you're sponsored. It's really awesome. Number 3, it's called earning cycle bonus. To trigger the actual money that comes to you, there has to be 6 members on a ratio of 4-2. What I mean by ratio 4-2, you need to have at least 4 people on one side and 2 people on the other. When that occurs, it generates a cycle. The question you may be asking, what's the value of a cycle? Well, it's based on a company's profitability, and it's also based on your rank that will determine if you're in tier 1 and tier 2. And we'll come back to that a little bit later. My question to you is, how many cycles do you want? I know I'm aiming for 10,000 cycles, right? So right now we're crossing that 1,000 cycle, and things are growing really, really, really nicely here, folks. So what's happening is a cycle match. That's another step, really interesting, because as you are sponsoring people into your business, well, you have the potential to earn what we call a matching cycle check. So what's happening here is you can see here, when you're a Sapphire, then you can start earning 25% from the cycles of every single person you sponsored into GotBackup, up to a maximum of $1,000 per person. I did say, folks, per person. If you sponsor 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, 100 people, 2,000 people, understand the potential here. And then this can go up to $20,000 per person on the matching cycle. So these match cap, what it means is that you can't make $1,000 if you haven't moved on from a Sapphire to an Emerald. And we'll explain to you that a little bit later. And we have many trainings to explain all these details. Folks, this is really impressive here. Think about Dropbox, who has over 700 million users. Just imagine the possibilities of an income like this, or should say the amount of people like this with an income opportunity like that. It's mind-boggling. And folks, there is 4 other bonuses. Generation bonus. This is really awesome, right? So every time you see a $10 when you're a gold associate, that's when it starts paying you. Well, you get 2.5%. It may not seem like much on one person, but folks, it compounds. Again, go back with Dropbox with 700 million users. Dynamic compression is just like number 4. You just go deeper into your business. And number 6 is you start getting a bonus for reaching a rank and maintaining that rank. So it's a great behavior. Maintain the rank and we'll keep getting that bonus. And leadership bonus is something that's added onto you as you grow. So Tammy, let's kind of summarize how simple it is to duplicate this business.
Yeah, and if there's anything that you and I've learned in the many, many years that we've been building businesses, is the fact that if you keep things simple, it'll duplicate. And we created this simple system with GotBackup. And the first thing is obviously to sign up. The second step is 2 people. Put one on the left, one on the right. Talk to 2 people that want to have a great value with their data storage. I mean, everybody does. And then you want to go and get 2 more people. And again, left and right. And then you want to duplicate that with the organization. If you can teach many people to do 2 and then go get 2 more, you're going to see how fast this is going to grow in your organization.
It's absolutely amazing. How do we get started?
Yeah, and it's $20 to be a member, and this is for somebody who wants to earn and talk to people, and that is an annual fee, which is so little. I just think of all the money that I invested as a traditional business owner. You look at all this, and it's such a little thing, and that has huge potential to earn. So you decide whether you want to go monthly or yearly. And we got the yearly highlighted because most people go yearly because you save a couple months of payments. And everybody in today's world are looking for bargains or looking to save some extra money.
I totally agree, Tammy. We're currently in 156 countries around the world, folks, and constantly expanding. Keeping in mind that we're about 100. I don't know if it's 196 or 189. I forgot how many countries we have in the world, but folks, that's 156. We're very close to reaching the rest, the entire world, folks. This is how many countries we are currently supporting. Very, very exciting. And the point that's important here, folks, is achievements. And this is important to recognize. Babies cry for it, adults die for it, folks. And look at the ladder here from bronze all the way to black diamond. So, as a bronze, folks, is when you sponsor one person. As a copper, if you're saying, okay, what do I need to do to be successful at this? You want to duplicate exactly that rank. So, you reach copper, one on your left, one on your right. You remember I explained to you to qualify for your cycle? One left, one on the right. So, from that point on, if every single time a person comes in, and they qualify for copper, then you are duplicating. And if you create a culture around duplicating that, then you start moving up in rank and your income will grow. So as a silver, what's happening is someone that you sponsored or from someone you sponsored became copper. So that means they sponsor one left, one on the right. Now you become a silver. As a gold, you have 5 people you sponsored, folks. 5. Out of that, 3 became copper. It may not even be the one you sponsored, but it's deviated from someone you brought in. Okay. And now you start earning the compression bonus. Okay. And so this is what becomes very interesting. And as a goal, folks, that's when you start opening up the benefits of what the comp plan has to offer. Now, let's pay attention what's going on next. As a platinum, remember I said you need to have 3 people to become copper? You just need 1 more. And your total of 40 people in your team. So as a goal, you need a total of 25. That's combined with the people you brought in and whoever they brought in. And as a platinum, you just have 1 more person become copper. Now there's 40 people in your team. Now you're moving on from tier 1 to tier 2 in your cycling bonus. So tier 2 is more than double than tier 1. So you're doubling your income for this exact same business that you've built. You see the potential? And if you recall, as a sapphire, you're helping another person, right? Another person to become copper from someone that you've enrolled. And there's 50 people in your team. You see, it's not really that difficult to reach, but it's a massive milestone because now you're earning matching cycle from every single person you brought in. And then you see the emerald and rubies and diamond. It's always the same things. You can see here blue diamond. Right. So these are all the ranks, all the way red diamond and black diamond. This is what you want to reach. Absolutely awesome. So Tammy, let's summarize the kind of support people get in GotBackup and all what comes over and above the cloud.
Yeah. So the moment you sign up as a member, you're going to have your back office, which you're going to have access to your personalized referral links. You have a personalized landing page. You have an email marketing system that's built in for you. When I saw that, that was super exciting. Talk about speeding up the process and not always having to individually invite people. You can set up systems for teams, for the people that are evaluating your opportunity. You've got marketing tools. You've got regular online presentations. We do our regular Friday presentation from our personal platform, but we also do company sessions every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. We bring in Joel from time to time to talk about all the new things that are coming up with GotBackup, which hold on to your shorts because this is really, really massive. What this company is building out to be is huge. So you want to position yourself now. And team trainings. There's lots of team trainings going on. There's lots of incredible leaders all over the world, different languages that have presentations, that have team trainings, and there's a lot of support. Chris and I do just the basic trainings to really understand how to do all of this on Saturday. So every Saturday at 10 a.m., we'll go through specific parts of the back office to teach you how to do this. So don't worry about not knowing what to do. Just get yourself positioned and we're going to show you.
I totally agree, Tammy. And folks, this is a product, again, that everyone needs and a business that everyone can afford. You know, as we end this session here, folks, I want to show you how simple it is once it's installed. This is my back office. You can see right now the rank as blue diamond, and you can see here that you have these options like use this tool, reseller tool. I'm going to focus on those two over here. Now, if you want to hear more about all of these, we have trainings that we've done in the past few Saturdays. You can go back to our training sessions and listen to all of them on our YouTube channels. And just get back with the person that invited you here today, get more details on that. Well, let's look at use this tool. Very important. What it means is this is a software. Remember I was telling you there's two pieces of software to install. One is to back up your computer to the cloud. It doesn't matter how many computers you have. It's what makes it so cool. And also you can have here your Android device or your Apple device. Now, personally, you don't really need to get it from the back office. You just go to the Apple Store or to Google Play Store, and then you just get your apps there. You saw the video, GotBackup, and then it will come in, you install it. When you install it, you just log in, and then you start backing up your stuff, just like the video shows you. And these videos are here to show you all of that. You can see here that I'm using 56% of my drive. And if you click on auto login, which is really, really, really cool, and you can actually just type in on the address bar, gbucloud.com. If you go there for the first time, it'll prompt you for your password to make sure it's you. And then you have all your computers here. I just happen to have 3 computers. 2 of them are here. That's the one I'm talking you through right now. This is the one that's in Toronto, Canada, which you can see here. The last backup was on that date. And this is the one that's behind me. Okay. This is where I do a lot of my trading and stuff. And so these are it over here. What's really awesome, and this is a feature that's going to be announced really, really soon, folks, you'll be able to access your files right from this button. The reason why you don't see those ones here is because I'm just using a test right now to show you guys. So when you click on that, you can see here, and you click on their user, and this is me here. This is my computer. This is all my stuff, all my libraries, everything, movies, document, desktop. It's all here. This is absolutely awesome. If you look at my cell phone data, it's over here. I happen to have an iPhone device, so that's where you see iPhone upload. If you're on an Android device, you will say Android upload. And you click on this. I just want to show you what's happening inside a little bit. You can see all the years. And if you go back to 2024, you can see here from January, February, March, April, all the way up to December. All my pictures are here. Pictures and videos, they're all there. If I go back in 2025, well, obviously we're in April right now. So I have up to April. When I start the month of May, in a week and a half or so from now, you're going to see that there's going to be a new directory there with all the new pictures that are there. Absolutely awesome. The last thing I want to share with you here, if you go to your collaborate and share over here with all files, these are directories that I dragged and dropped. Okay. So what's happening here is if I click on my MacBook to here, and these, for example, you can go and drag a directory from your local drive right into this window here, and it'll start copying files on the spot. And you can see here, if I go back to GotBackup, I have a lot of files in here, and I go to my, let's say GotBackup files, and I go under trainings over here. Let's see in English, and let's say in 2025, and there's 90-day campaigns. And you can see here, I'm very, very, very organized, and we can go ahead and we can collaborate and share. So if I click on this file over here, and I'll end on this note here, folks, it's really, really simple. We can collaborate and share this information here together. If I share this link with you, then you and I can work on these PowerPoints. It is so cool. It is so simple. So folks, the last thing I want to share here, if you go under your tool and you select on, for example, reseller tools, and tomorrow, Tammy and I are going to be training you on maximizing this. So you can see here that you have access to all the links that are available to you to promote your business. So you can see you promote that link, and they're going to see a page like this, which we call that a capture page. They look at the video, they put their name and their emails, and all of that, it goes into an email responder that you can utilize, which also we've done training for in about 2 or 3 Saturdays ago. Someone wants to sign up, send them this link, and we'll talk about all of these things on Saturday. If someone wants to try it for free for 7 days, well, there you go. They can start utilizing the 6 terabytes right away by backing up their computers and their phones just by signing up with this over here. And this is what it looks like, folks. You can see here, there's the video. They can just turn around and sign up, and there's no credit card requirement over here. So as you can see, this is absolutely amazing what's available to you here. And folks, at the end of the day, It's a wonderful, wonderful venture. Remember, it is a service that everyone needs and everyone can afford, folks. We can change lives around the world with a service like this. Simple, affordable, and the income potential is unlimited because it's based on the company's profits and it's a percentage. And as the company grows in revenues, then these revenues are going to grow and grow and grow. 75% of their revenues coming from the company's profits are shared into the compensation plan. Folks, this is really amazing. Think of again, go back to Dropbox, 700 million users. Think of the income they generate. Think of 75% of that paid to the world. This is how we're making a difference in the world today with an opportunity like this. Tammy, as you want to close the session, it's a real pleasure. And thank you so much, Inyonam and Flora, for your wonderful feedback. And I know there's going to be others that are going to be coming after the fact, listening to the recording, and we certainly appreciate your feedback. And by the way, folks, if you like what we're doing here, hit the like button. It just helps the algorithm to say people like the information. It's helpful. We'd really appreciate it. So back to you, Tammy, as we end.
Yeah, we actually share this, do this session at 11 a.m. so we can tap more into the global market. But obviously, it is recorded for anybody who comes to this channel. They can check it out. Don't hesitate, you guys. Position yourself, get yourself started. You have an incredible group that are going to help you get ignited and get your system set up. And this is something that Chris and I have been doing for the last 2 years, helping people get ignited, get set up. And leaders are just popping in left and right. So thanks for those who showed up to the live session. And for those of you who are catching the recording, thank you to you. Have an awesome, awesome weekend. And we will see you back in this channel next Friday. Invite people to come and have a look at this so you can grow and expand your business.
Have a great weekend, everybody. And remember that Saturday, we're going to be training you on the reseller tools. So have a great, great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.